Howdy there, Bronco fans. This is Shad. We got George with us, and George, we're sitting back as the number 1 seed, 12-4, baby. It seems like we've been bitching and complaining all year long, and turns out we got a pretty good team, George.
I'm still bitching and complaining.
I bet you are. So talk to me about that game. First of all, I'm excited for Gary Kubiak. You know what? He comes in here, new offense, new team, high expectations. You got to replace a team that's been successful, the last few years.
Yeah.
And he stands up and makes it happen.
But he had some horses that he could bet on.
Yes.
That's for damn sure. Number 1 defense in the entire National Football League. That kind of helps you be 12-4 in the number 1 seed, doesn't it?
Yeah, and kudos to Wade Phillips, who made that happen for us.
That's right. You got to give him as much or more credit than Gary Kubiak, I think.
Yep. No, I'm a big Phillips fan. I think it's great when people realize, where their wheelhouse is. And he came in and said, hey, I'm not a great head coach, but I want to go down as one of the best defensive coordinators ever, and he's on the path of doing it.
Oh, he's on the path of doing it, if he isn't already there.
Yep. So talk to me about that game, and we'll get into the quarterback thing, all that. What did you like? What didn't you like, George?
Well, what I liked is we won. I say that every week, we won.
Yep.
But let me tell you, it was fate. It was luck. It's divine intervention for us to be the number 1 seed. We go in there and beat a team which we should have killed, which we scored in 31 seconds. In 31 seconds, we're up 7-0. Everybody's sitting back saying, this is going to be a shellacking.
We got the old Demaryius Thomas back.
That's
big
right.
score right out of the gate. Yes, you're feeling good. Then what happened, George?
Well, then somewhere on the way to the football game and during the game, we had 5 turnovers. Now, I said this was fate or luck or divine intervention. 5 turnovers. Did you know? Well, and they had 1, so therefore we're -4.
Yes, sir.
Not one team this entire year with -4 turnovers won a football game. Of course, me being the researcher that I am, since the merger between the AFL and the NFL, there's been 3,200 something games where there's been 4+ turnovers, and 80% of the time the team with 4+ lost. So we overcome an 80% chance of losing this game. We overcome that.
Well, maybe one thing we had in our favor is a 5-time MVP sitting over there on the bench. What did you think about that move? Because I think it was a bold move by Kubiak, but I totally understood it. Because he's looking up there, he's seeing the Kansas City score. He knows you're going to drop from 1 to 5, and you're going to do it with a Hall of Fame quarterback on the bench.
I think that was a snap decision. It was an impulse. I don't think he planned to do that. He had no intention whatsoever of bringing Peyton in. But he's sitting there going, I got to do something to spark this team. We got to make some kind of change. Well, let's grab this MVP and send him in.
Yeah, and
the place erupts.
Exactly. And then
you know what? However, being the marketing genius that I am, they missed the golden opportunity. And you know what that golden opportunity was?
I'm about to know.
You're about to know, and everybody will agree. Sitting there on the sideline is Thunder, a great big white horse. All they had to do was have him mount that white horse and come riding into the huddle on a white horse, and here comes the hero to save the game. And son of a bitch, he saved the game.
And it
was great. You know what it was? It was just a change in leadership. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And what happened? They also got Schofield out of there.
Yeah, that was a huge move that was overlooked by a lot of people.
They all focused on Peyton, but guess what? The pass blocking was 10 times better, and the run blocking was better.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I've been watching Bronco games. I don't think I've missed a Bronco game on TV or at the stadium in
30 years.
No, over 40 years. And I cannot.
You're that old?
Yes, I'm not quite there where you are, George, but I'm making.
You're close.
Making progress, but. At the end of the day, I cannot think of an offensive lineman in that time. Maybe Paul Howard, who used to just piss me off way back in the day with
nobody knows
all his holding penalties.
Oh, okay.
But I thought he played terrible all year, and it was driving me crazy that they would ask Kubiak about it, especially after the game against the Raiders when 5 sacks by Mack. And it just, he's coming along, he's doing good. I was like, he's not doing good.
No.
So finally they make a change, and that happened right at the same time. I think the people were actually clapping for him, not Manning, when he came out.
Oh, yeah,
that's
right.
That's how bad Schofield has been playing.
But what happened? All of a sudden, I think the running backs ran a little bit harder. I think everybody blocked a little bit better. I think everybody got energized by that move.
Yeah.
Everybody got energized by it.
I think even Brock. I mean, look, Brock is a young kid. He knows he's got 6 games under his belt.
Right.
He knows that the playoff, all this pressure is mounting. He's already earned his big contract. He came in and he did a fabulous job. It had one thing, Brock didn't read some defenses.
Right.
He got hit with a guy that wasn't uncovered.
Right.
That was a big mistake. Outside of that, all the rest on other
But
people.
guess what? This is the learning curve.
Yeah.
He's learning. He will never make that mistake again. But he had to learn.
Yes, and you can't make those mistakes come to playoffs.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you know what, George? I think both quarterbacks would be, I think it's almost 50-50.
It is 50-50. It doesn't really make any difference. I mean, he's 5-2. Peyton was 7-2. He's got 10 touchdown passes. Peyton's only got 9. I mean, you can argue it both sides. It doesn't make any difference. You know, the defense is going to carry us. You got to get somebody who can get 250 yards passing. You know, we can get 100-plus yards rushing. We win the game.
And limit the turnovers.
And we got to have no turnovers.
Even when you have 5 of them, we found a way to win, but that's not going to last for long. So on the defensive side, I mean, I cannot praise Derek Wolfe enough. That guy has been he has been on it the last 3 games. And while he's been on it, the guy who's been off it has been Aqib Talib, who just, I like that he's opportunistic, and I think on that blown coverage, I think he saw the other guy coming, was going to try and get a pick 6, but he leaves his guy, goes for a touchdown. But you go look, study the film.
Yards.
3-4 weeks in a row, Aqib Talib, along with our Josh Bush, our safety, have been the worst 2 Bronco players on the defensive side.
Agreed.
Malik Jackson, a consistent game. Von Miller, not over the top, got a sack, had some good pressure, tackle for loss. So on the defensive side, I think, you got the number 1 defense that's going to keep you in games. And look at how beautifully, you talk about divine intervention, look how beautifully this turned out. Instead of having an aging quarterback that demands to be in all year long,
right,
has had 7 weeks off.
Right.
So he's fresh. You had a quarterback that, you wanted to get some reps in, because if Manning gets hurt in the playoffs, you don't want a guy that's had 0 snaps all season coming in.
So
Manning got rest. Osweiler got experience. I think it couldn't have lined up any better, but you go with Peyton Manning because he has the experience. And I think deep down in, Brock Osweiler probably appreciates, hey, let Peyton Manning do this thing. Why do I need all that pressure with 6 games under my belt? And let's watch this Hall of Famer go. And if we lose, we lose. You go out and let the legend have
whatever happens, happens.
Did we want Peyton Manning out earlier in the season? Absolutely. Because he was hurt. He wasn't playing well.
Right.
He's had a lot of time, and he had to eat a few humble pills along the line, right? I'm not getting the reps. I want to do this, and this. But guess what?
Well, they stuck him out in the warehouse. Throwing to, what's that guy's name? He was
Jordan Taylor.
Jordan Taylor. And remember what Manning said? Jordan Taylor. And he told us to remember that name. Can you imagine Jordan Taylor for 7 weeks sitting out in the warehouse catching passes from Peyton Manning?
Yeah, well,
this guy is going to be a super stud. Write that down, folks. George Moore said it, super stud. He's going to be the next Eric Dicker. Eric, what's his name?
Decker.
Decker, I got it. Well, I was going to call him Eric Dickerson.
I know, I heard that.
Yeah.
Well, which was a great running back for the Rams for all you young folks out there.
Right, over 2,000 yards in 1 year.
That's right.
Right.
No, I like anybody that went to see camp knew that Jordan Taylor, was impressive. He's going to be. He looks like a Decker. I think he wore 87, just like Decker wore too.
There you go.
His day's coming. But anyway, at the end of the day, George, here we are. We get a bye week. We're 12-4, despite all the drama. Who's quarterback changing?
Yeah, but let me tell you something about that drama and this quarterback debate.
Yes, sir.
You realize who's responsible that we have this quarterback debate right now?
Kubiak? I don't know.
Emmanuel Sanders. Why? Because
George?
here we are. We're up 7-3. We're going through them like a juggernaut. Walsweiler goes back, pops this little down and out and up, and Sanders dekes the guy, catches the ball, flies 30 yards down the field. Now he sees that safety coming across, see. And what happens, he slows down just enough to try to deke him. But the guy he deked back there is on his tail. And the minute he slows down for just a second, the guy comes up behind him, wrestles him down, takes the ball away from him. That's why we have a quarterback controversy, because we go and score there. We're up 14-3. The Chargers go, oh, crap, 14-3. They give up. There's never any Peyton entering the game. So we can thank Emmanuel Sanders for that.
Here's what Peyton Manning's playing for. You know that $4 million pay cut he took?
Yeah.
If he plays 70% of the offensive plays
Yeah.
in the AFC Championship and the Broncos win, he gets $2 million. If they go to the Super Bowl, he plays 70% of the plays and they win, he gets his other $2 million.
Now we know who's going to start.
Well,
it ain't going to be Peyton.
No, I think that's why you want Peyton, because he has he's got $4 million on the line. I think he's going to come out lights out.
That was some great intel right there.
Well, there you go.
Great intel. You're a genius.
So anyway. I hope you guys are all doing great. I hope you all had a happy New Year.
Who are we going to play? Who are we going to play?
I don't really care, because outside of the Texans, we know everything about these teams. I would rather not play New England just because
No, I'm talking about the first week.
First week, I don't know. I think the AFC games that are going to happen this week, I do think the Texans are going to upset the Chiefs. 10 games in a row by those Kansas City Chiefs? I don't think so.
How about Pittsburgh going in there and playing the Bengals, who they own?
Yes, I think so. I think it's going to be Pittsburgh, and I think it's going to be...
And we'll get Pittsburgh again.
Yeah.
Because we're getting the lowest seed that survives.
Yep, and I think Pittsburgh, we had one great half against them, and then we got destroyed.
Well, guess what? We ain't going to put little Chris man-to-man all day long on Antonio Brown. I think we might give him a little help. You know how many passes he called last time? 16.
I know.
16 passes for almost 200 yards. I don't think we're going to let that happen again.
Hopefully we do give him some help, and some of that help's got to come with...
We let Schofield help him.
Yeah, how about Bradley Roby? I mean, Bradley Roby stepped up this last game. He
could double team him.
Yeah, so there's some things we can do.
If Wheaton beats us, so what? Who cares?
Exactly, all day long. So I think that's who we got, George. And, it's exciting. Congratulations, Denver Broncos. I'm happy for John Elway, Kubiak. Although at times I've not liked some of what he's done this year. At the end of the day, he's got a 12-4 team. He made the right call. He went with his gut, and it paid off.
Amen. Amen. And we got a week. Are you getting withdrawals because we're not playing this Sunday?
I actually, from my heart, I need a week off.
I do too. I've had a heart attack. I've had 16 heart attacks because we only had one game that we put away early, and that was the Packers. The other 15 were heart attack city.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change much, George. So rest up this week.
Will do.
All right, thank you, folks. Have a great week, and we'll catch you after the bye week.
Amen. Thanks for watching.
We do.